Route 50, Virginia. 1:15 p.m. A decorated Marine pulled over for a tail light that isn't broken. Mitchell Gardner sits in his Honda Civic, hands on the wheel. He's done this before. Every black man has. Officer Garrett Blackwood approaches. He sees dreadlocks, dark skin. That's enough. Get out, now! Mitchell complies slowly. His left leg drags. Shrapnel wounds from Helmand Province. He saved 18 Marines, pulled a 4-star general from a burning vehicle. Purple Heart, Bronze Star. Today, none of that matters. 2 minutes later, he's face down on asphalt. Blackwood's knee crushes his spine. Stop resisting, you ghetto thug! Mitchell isn't resisting. Officer, I'm a veteran. Stolen valor garbage. Blackwood kicks his wallet. People like you disgust me. Officer Kyle Brennan films. Subject aggressive, resisting arrest. Cars slow, phones record. Have you ever watched a hero treated like a criminal? What happened next changed everything. 7 hours earlier, Mitchell Gardner wakes at 5:30 a.m. No alarm needed. 12 years of military discipline never leaves. His apartment in Arlington is small. 1 bedroom. Rent is $1,400 a month, half his disability check. The walls are bare except for 3 items. A framed Purple Heart in a shadow box. A Bronze Star next to it. A photo of 23 Marines in desert camouflage, all of them smiling, none of them knowing what was coming. Mitchell does 50 pull-ups on the doorframe bar. His left shoulder screams, shrapnel fragments still embedded in the muscle. The VA said surgery would cost more than it's worth. He pushes through the pain. The scar across his back stretches when he moves. It runs from his left shoulder blade down to his hip. The doctors said he was lucky. 2 inches to the right, and he'd be paralyzed. He doesn't feel lucky. By 7 o'clock a.m., he's dressed. Button-down shirt, crisp and ironed, jeans with a careful crease. His shoes are polished. Marine habits die hard. He drives his 2015 Honda Civic to Rosie's breakfast corner. The bell above the door chimes when he enters. The smell of bacon and coffee fills the air. Morning, Mitchell. Rosie's behind the counter, gray hair pulled back in a bun. She's been running this place for 30 years. The usual? Yes, ma'am. Mitchell slides into a booth by the window. The vinyl seat is patched with duct tape. Danny comes out from the kitchen, bussing tables. He's 14, all elbows and basketball sneakers. Mitchell hired him through the youth center program. Kid was on the edge, skipping school, running with the wrong crowd. Now he shows up every morning at 6 o'clock a.m. before school. Mr. Gardner? Danny grins. You coming to my game Friday? Wouldn't miss it. Mitchell watches the kid work. Thorough, careful, pride in small things. You been practicing that jump shot? Every day. Coach says I might start. Keep at it. The diner is a time capsule. Red vinyl booths, checkered floor, a jukebox in the corner that still plays Motown. Rosie brings Mitchell's food, 2 eggs over easy, wheat toast, black coffee. You doing okay, baby? She asks it quietly. Rosie lost her son in Iraq. She knows the look, the one Mitchell gets when he stares too long at nothing. I'm good, Miss Rosie. Liar. She pats his hand. But I'll let you be. Through the window, Mitchell watches the neighborhood change. New condos going up across the street. Coffee shop that charges $6 for a latte. White families moving in. Rent climbing. People like Rosie barely holding on. The gentrification brings something else. More police. Aggressive enforcement. Mitchell's seen it before. New neighbors want to feel safe. That means more patrols in black neighborhoods. More stops, more questions. Last month, his neighbor was stopped 3 times in 1 week. Same officer, same excuse. You match a description. Mitchell finishes his breakfast, leaves a $10 bill on the table. Rosie tries to give him change. Keep it. Mitchell. Keep it, Miss Rosie. He checks his phone. A text from Patricia Williams, director of the youth center. Staff meeting at 2 p.m. Don't be late. He hasn't told anyone about the nightmares. How he wakes up at 3 o'clock a.m. back in Helmand province, hearing the explosion. How he checks the door locks 5 times before bed. How crowded spaces make his heart race. The VA prescribed medication. It makes him foggy, slow. So he stopped taking it. By 1 o'clock p.m., Mitchell is driving to the youth center. Route 50 is his usual path. 4 lanes, moderate traffic. He's driven it 1,000 times. His Honda is 10 years old but well-maintained. He does the oil changes himself. New tires last month. Brake pads replaced. Tail lights checked last week. Both working fine. The radio is tuned to NPR. They're discussing police reform legislation. Mitchell turns it up. He drives exactly the speed limit. Right lane. Turn signal for every lane change. His VA therapist says hypervigilance is a symptom. Mitchell calls it survival. At 1:15 p.m., he notices the police cruiser in his rearview mirror. It's been following him for 3 blocks. His hands tighten on the wheel. The lights come on, red and blue flashing. Mitchell's heart rate spikes. He takes a breath, counts to 4. Marine training. Stay calm, stay controlled. He signals, pulls to the shoulder, turns off the engine, places both hands on top of the steering wheel where they can be seen. His license and registration are already on the dashboard. He waits. Officer Garrett Blackwood watches the Honda Civic signal and pull over. He's been a cop for 18 years. He can spot them, the ones who think they're smart, the ones who know their rights. Those are always the most trouble. What do you think? Kyle Brennan asks from the passenger seat. He's been Blackwood's partner for 6 months. Young, eager, still thinks this job is about helping people. Blackwood will fix that. Tinted windows, dreadlocks, driving through a nice neighborhood. Blackwood unbuckles his seatbelt. Let's see what we've got. What did he do? Does it matter? Blackwood opens his door. Taillight looks dim to me. Brennan follows. His hand rests on his service weapon. Blackwood taught him that. Always assume threat. Always control the situation. Mitchell sees the officer's approach in his side mirror. White, mid-40s, the walk of someone who's used to being obeyed. The knock on his window is hard. The flashlight hits the glass even though it's broad daylight. Mitchell doesn't flinch. He rolls down the window slowly. License, registration, insurance, now. Blackwood doesn't ask. He demands. Yes, officer. Mitchell keeps his voice even, respectful. They're right here on my dashboard. He reaches slowly, announces every movement. I'm reaching for my license now. It's on the dashboard. Blackwood snatches the documents, holds them up to the light like they're counterfeit. Mitchell Gardner. He draws out the name, makes it sound suspicious. This your real name, or one of those made-up names? It's my legal name, sir. I was born in Augusta, Georgia. Augusta. Blackwood smirks. Figures. Brennan circles the vehicle. He peers through the windows, tries the door handles. Mitchell hears him walking around the trunk. Your taillight's out, Blackwood says. I had them both checked last week, officer. They were working fine. Are you arguing with me? Mitchell takes a breath. No, sir. I'm just stating what I know. What you know. Blackwood leans down. His breath smells like coffee and cigarettes. What you know is you're sitting in a car in a neighborhood you don't belong in, with illegal window tint, driving suspiciously. I was following the speed limit, officer. I signaled every... Step out of the vehicle. Mitchell's hands are still on the wheel. May I ask why, officer? The question is legal, polite, reasonable. Blackwood's jaw tightens. Because I said so. Now, get out. Mitchell opens the door slowly. His left leg hits the pavement first. The limp is visible. He grabs the door frame to steady himself. Move faster. Blackwood's hand moves to his belt. You on something? High? No, sir. I have a service-related injury. My left leg was... I didn't ask for your life story. Blackwood grabs Mitchell's arm, spins him around, slams him against the hood of the Civic. Hands on the hood, legs apart. The metal is hot from the sun. It burns Mitchell's palms. Blackwood pats him down, aggressive, invasive. His hands run up Mitchell's inner thighs, check his waistband, his chest, under his arms. Traffic slows. Drivers turn their heads. Mitchell sees a woman in a silver SUV reach for her phone. You carrying anything illegal? Blackwood's hands squeeze harder than necessary. No, sir. Weapons? Drugs? Anything that'll poke me, stick me, hurt me? No, sir. We'll see about that. Blackwood steps back. I smell marijuana. You been smoking? Mitchell hasn't smoked anything in his life. Not cigarettes. Not marijuana. Nothing. No, sir. I don't use drugs. That's what they all say. Blackwood turns to Brennan. Call for a K-9 unit. We're doing a search. Officer, I have somewhere to be at 2:00 p.m. Mitchell keeps his voice calm. Marine training. Don't escalate. Stay controlled. I'm happy to cooperate, but I haven't done anything illegal. You telling me how to do my job? Blackwood moves closer. His face is inches from Mitchell's. Is that what we're doing here? No, sir. I'm exercising my Fourth Amendment right to... Fourth Amendment, Blackwood laughs. We got a lawyer here, Brennan. Street lawyer who thinks he knows the law. I know my rights, officer. Your rights. Blackwood's voice drops. Quiet. Menacing. Let me tell you about your rights. You're in my stop. On my road. And you'll do what I say when I say it. Those are your rights. Mitchell's phone is in his pocket. He reaches for it slowly. I'd like to record this interaction. For both our protection. Gun! Blackwood yells. He's reaching! He's reaching! Mitchell's hand is nowhere near his waistband. It's moving toward his front pocket. Slowly. Deliberately. Blackwood grabs Mitchell's wrist, twists it behind his back. The old injury screams. I'm not armed. Mitchell's voice stays calm even as pain shoots through his shoulder. I was reaching for my phone! My phone! Brennan rushes over. Together they force Mitchell to the ground. The asphalt is hot. Over 90 degrees in the afternoon sun. Mitchell's cheek scrapes against gravel and glass fragments. Stop resisting! Blackwood yells, even though Mitchell's body is completely still. I'm not resisting! Mitchell's words are muffled against the pavement. My hands are visible. I'm not resisting. Blackwood's knee drives into Mitchell's spine, right where the metal rods are, right where the shrapnel fragments are still embedded. The pain is white-hot, blinding. Mitchell gasps. His body jerks involuntarily. He's fighting, Brennan shouts. Subject is fighting. I'm not... Mitchell can barely breathe. The weight on his back crushes his lungs. Please, I can't. His phone falls from his pocket, skids across the asphalt. The screen cracks. Blackwood picks it up, looks at the screen, then puts it in his own pocket. That's evidence now. That's illegal seizure. Mitchell's voice is weak. You want to add theft to your charges? Blackwood leans down. His mouth is next to Mitchell's ear. Keep talking. See what happens. Mitchell's wallet has fallen open. His military ID is visible. The Purple Heart card. His VA medical card. Blackwood kicks the wallet. It slides under a parked car. People are gathering now. Phones out, recording. A woman yells from her car window. He's not doing anything, he's complying. Ma'am, step back. Brennan points at her. This is official police business. He's not resisting. An older white man, maybe 60, stands on the sidewalk with his phone raised. I've been watching the whole thing. He never resisted. Mr. Peterson, retired teacher, credible witness. Blackwood ignores him. Mitchell Gardner, Blackwood announces loudly. For the cameras, for the recording. You're under arrest for resisting arrest, failure to comply with lawful orders, and assault on a police officer. I never touched you. Mitchell's words are cut off. Blackwood presses harder. You tried to reach for your waistband. I feared for my safety. That's assault. Brennan pulls out zip ties. The plastic cuts into Mitchell's wrists. People like you never learn, do you? Blackwood's voice is loud, performative, making sure everyone hears. Mouth off to me again, and you'll wish you stayed in whatever ghetto you crawled out of. Mitchell closes his eyes, counts his breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. He survived 3 tours in Afghanistan. He survived an IED blast that killed 4 Marines. He survived pulling 18 men from a burning vehicle. He's not sure he'll survive this. Blackwood and Brennan haul him to his feet. The zip ties cut deeper. Mitchell's hands are already going numb. They parade him past the witnesses, past the phones, past Mr. Peterson, who's still recording. I got everything, Peterson shouts. I got all of it. Blackwood shoves Mitchell into the back of the patrol car. His head hits the doorframe. Stars burst in his vision. The door slams shut. Through the window, Mitchell watches Brennan go through his car, tearing through the glove box, the center console, pulling out papers, his gym bag, his youth center materials. They find his military ID, his medals in a small case, photos of his unit. Brennan holds up the Purple Heart. Garrett, he's got military stuff. Blackwood barely glances at it. Probably bought it at a pawn shop. Stolen valor is everywhere. But throw it in evidence. We'll sort it out at the station. Mitchell watches his medals get tossed into a plastic bag. Like garbage. Like they mean nothing. In the front seat, Blackwood starts the engine. He turns to look at Mitchell through the partition. Comfortable back there? Mitchell doesn't answer. That's what I thought. Blackwood pulls onto the road. The drive to the station is 10 minutes. Blackwood takes 15. He hits every pothole, every speed bump. Mitchell's body slams against the sides of the car. His hands are zip-tied behind him. He can't brace himself. You know what's funny? Brennan says to Blackwood. They always play victim. Always crying police brutality. Every damn time. Blackwood takes a turn too fast. Mitchell slides across the seat. Then they're the first to call 911 when their neighborhoods go to hell. My dad says it's gotten worse since the protests. Your dad's right. Used to be you could police without everyone screaming racism. Mitchell stares at the ceiling of the car. He focuses on his breathing. In for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Out for 4. The metal rods in his spine feel like they're shifting. The pain is constant now. Throbbing. His phone is gone. His car is on the side of the road. His medals are in an evidence bag. And nobody knows where he is. The Fairfax County Police Station smells like industrial cleaner and stale coffee. Fluorescent lights hum overhead. The booking desk is gray laminate. Everything is gray. Sergeant Ramirez is behind the desk. He's been here 22 years. He's seen it all. But when Blackwood brings Mitchell in, something in Ramirez's face shifts. What have we got? Ramirez asks. Resisting arrest, assault on a peace officer, failure to comply. Blackwood rattles off the charges like he's reading a grocery list. Subject became aggressive during a routine traffic stop. Ramirez looks at Mitchell. Zip ties cutting into his wrists, blood on his cheek from the asphalt, moving stiffly because of the pain in his back. He need medical? He's fine. Blackwood pushes Mitchell toward the desk. Just playing it up. I have combat injuries. Mitchell's voice is steady, quiet. Metal rods in my spine. I need my medication. It's in my car. Your car is being impounded, Blackwood interrupts. You'll get your medication when we process you. If we process you, Brennan adds. He's still carrying the evidence bag with Mitchell's things. Ramirez takes Mitchell's information: name, date of birth, address. The questions are mechanical, but his eyes keep moving to the blood, the zip ties, the way Mitchell is standing like his back is about to give out. "Any medical conditions I should note?" Ramirez asks. "Yes, I have." "He's fine." Blackwood cuts him off. "Stop looking for special treatment. I'm documenting medical conditions." Ramirez's voice is firm. "It's procedure. Document whatever you want." Blackwood leans against the desk. "He's going in a cell regardless." Mitchell is photographed, front and side. The flash makes his headache worse. His fingerprints are taken. The ink smells like chemicals. They don't give him anything to wipe his hands. "I want to make a phone call." "You'll get your call." Blackwood gestures to a holding cell. "After we're done processing." The holding cell is 8 by 10. Concrete walls, a metal bench, a toilet in the corner with no seat. It reeks of urine and vomit. Mitchell sits on the bench. His hands are still zip-tied behind his back. The plastic has cut through the skin. Blood drips onto his shirt. 30 minutes pass. The pain in his spine is getting worse, shooting down his left leg, the same leg that got hit with shrapnel. He can hear Blackwood and Brennan in the hallway. Their voices carry. "Think he'll lawyer up?" "They always do, but it won't matter. 2 officers versus 1 suspect. It's our word." "What about the people recording? Cell phone videos?" Blackwood laughs. "Angle's bad. Shows him going down, but not the fight before. We'll say he was aggressive off camera. Juries always believe us." "What if he really is a veteran?" "Then he's a veteran who assaulted police." Blackwood's voice gets quieter, but Mitchell can still hear. "Look, Kyle, you're new. So let me explain how this works. These people, they cry brutality every time we do our jobs. They make false claims. They lie. We have to protect ourselves." "I get it." "Do you? Because you looked nervous back there." "I wasn't nervous, You follow my lead. I've been doing this 18 years. Never lost a case. You know why? Because I document everything. I control the narrative. I make sure the reports are airtight." "Yeah, okay. Good." Footsteps. Moving away. Let him sit for a while. Make him uncomfortable. Makes them more cooperative during questioning. Mitchell leans his head against the concrete wall. The cold feels good against his pounding skull. He thinks about Patricia. She's expecting him at the youth center at 2:00 p.m. It's past that now. She'll call his phone. It'll go straight to voicemail because Blackwood has it. He thinks about Danny, about the basketball game Friday, whether he'll still be in jail by then. He thinks about the 18 Marines he pulled from that vehicle, how their families got to see them again, got to hold them. Who's going to hold him? An hour passes before Ramirez opens the cell. "You get 1 call." They cut the zip ties. Mitchell's hands are purple, swollen. The feeling comes back slowly. Pins and needles, then pain. Ramirez hands him a landline phone, old rotary style, like something from the 1980s. Mitchell tries to remember phone numbers. Everything is in his cell phone. He doesn't memorize numbers anymore. He knows one, Patricia's office line at the youth center. He dials. It rings 4 times. Someone picks up. "Youth Opportunity Center, this is Patricia." "Patricia." Mitchell's voice cracks. "It's Mitchell." "Mitchell? Where are you? You missed the staff meeting. Are you okay?" "I've been arrested." Silence on the other end. "What? Arrested for what?" "Nothing. A traffic stop. They're saying I resisted. I didn't. Patricia, I need..." He looks at Ramirez, who's watching the clock. "I need you to call anyone you can. Lawyers, ACLU, anyone." "Mitchell, what happened?" "I don't have time. They're only giving me 1 call. Please, just get help." "I will." I promise. Hold on. We'll get you out. The line goes dead. Ramirez takes the phone back. That's it? That's it. Mitchell is led to another cell. This one is bigger, communal. 3 other men are inside. They look up when he enters, size him up. Mitchell sits in the corner. He doesn't make eye contact. Prison rules apply everywhere. His wrists are bleeding through his shirt. His back is screaming, and he has no idea what happens next. Outside the cell, Blackwood is writing his report. The words come easy. He's written hundreds of these. Subject displayed erratic behavior during traffic stop, made furtive movements toward waistband. Officer feared for his safety and the safety of his partner. When officers attempted to detain subject for officer safety, subject became physically aggressive. Subject attempted to strike Officer Blackwood. Officers used necessary force to effect arrest. Subject continued to resist throughout the encounter. Multiple commands were given. Subject refused to comply. Brennan reads over his shoulder. You want me to write the same thing? Use your own words, but yeah, same story. What about the military stuff? Blackwood doesn't look up from his report. What about it? He had medals, VA card. What if he really is a veteran? Then we'll add stolen valor to the charges if the medals are fake, if they're real. Blackwood shrugs. Doesn't change anything. Plenty of veterans break the law. I guess. You guess? Blackwood finally looks at him. Kyle, listen to me. That guy in there, he tried to make us look bad. He questioned my authority. He talked about his rights like he's better than us. That's what this is about. Respect. If we let people like him question us, we lose control. People like him? Blackwood stares at Brennan. You know what I mean. Brennan nods slowly. Yeah, I know. Good. Now write your report. Make it detailed. Make it sound professional. Remember, you feared for your safety. You saw him reach for his waistband. You saw him resist. Got it? Got it. They file their reports at 3:45 p.m. Sergeant Ramirez reads them both. His jaw tightens, but he doesn't say anything. He just files them. At 4:30 p.m., Patricia Williams calls the station. She's transferred 3 times. Finally, she reaches someone. I'm calling about Mitchell Gardner. He was arrested earlier today. I need to know the charges and the bail amount. Are you family? I'm his employer. We can't release that information to non-family members. Can you tell me anything? He's being held pending arraignment. That's all I can say. The line goes dead. Patricia sits at her desk. She's 53 years old. She's run the youth center for 15 years. She's seen kids arrested for nothing, beaten for walking while black. She knows how this works. She starts making calls. First, the public defender's office, then the ACLU, then every civil rights attorney she knows. Most don't answer. It's after 5:00 p.m. Everyone's gone home. She keeps trying. At 6:00 p.m., Mitchell is still in the holding cell. His medication is in his impounded car. The pain in his spine is unbearable now. He can barely stand. One of the other inmates notices. You okay, man? I'll live. What did they get you for? Resisting arrest. The inmate laughs, bitter. Yeah, that's what they always say. Mitchell doesn't respond. He closes his eyes, tries to breathe through the pain. In Helmand Province, he went 48 hours without sleep, pulled security while his unit regrouped, carried a Marine with a severed femoral artery 3 miles to the extraction point. He can survive this. He has to. Because right now, there's nobody coming to save him. Mitchell spends his first night in jail on a concrete bench. No blanket, no pillow. The fluorescent lights never turn off. His arraignment is at 9:00 a.m. the next morning. He's brought into the courtroom in an orange jumpsuit. His hands are cuffed in front of him now. The bailiff leads him to the defense table. A woman is waiting. mid-30s, tired eyes, stack of files in her hands. Mitchell Gardner? She extends her hand. I'm Rebecca Walsh, public defender. I'm handling your case. They shake. Her hand is cold. I didn't assault anyone, Mitchell says immediately. I believe you. Walsh opens a file. But I have to be honest. It's your word against 2 police officers. These cases are difficult. There were witnesses. People recorded it. I know. I've seen some of the videos. Walsh pulls out a tablet, shows him a shaky cell phone video. It shows the takedown, but the prosecution will argue we can't see what happened before. They'll say you were aggressive off camera. I wasn't. I believe you, Walsh repeats. But believing you and proving it in court are 2 different things. Judge Thompson enters. Everyone stands. He's 68, white hair, reading glasses. He's been a judge for 20 years. Docket number 2024 CR 8856, Commonwealth versus Mitchell Gardner. The prosecutor stands. Amanda Rivera, Latina, early 40s. Sharp suit. She's won 80% of her cases. Your Honor, the Commonwealth is charging Mr. Gardner with resisting arrest, assault on a peace officer, and obstruction of justice. We're asking for $50,000 bail given the violent nature of the crimes. Judge Thompson looks at Mitchell. Counselor? Response? Walsh stands. Your Honor, Mr. Gardner is a decorated Marine veteran, Purple Heart recipient, Bronze Star. He has no criminal record. He's employed. He has ties to the community. We're asking for release on his own recognizance. Your Honor, Rivera interrupts. The defendant attacked 2 police officers. He poses a danger to law enforcement. I never touched them. Mitchell stands. His voice is louder than he intended. The bailiff steps forward. Sir, sit down. Mr. Gardner, Judge Thompson's voice is sharp. You will remain silent unless asked to speak. Mitchell sits. Walsh puts a hand on his arm. Judge Thompson reviews the file. Bail is set at $50,000, cash or bond. Preliminary hearing in 3 weeks. Next case. The gavel comes down. Mitchell is led back to the holding cell. Walsh follows as far as she can. I'm sorry. I'll start working on your defense. But Mitchell? She waits until he looks at her. This is going to take time. How much time? Months. Maybe longer. Mitchell sits in the cell. $50,000 bail. He has $3,200 in savings. His disability check is $2,800 a month. Even a bail bondsman would require $5,000 up front. He's stuck. For 3 days, he sits in county jail. The food is oatmeal for breakfast, mystery meat for lunch, more mystery meat for dinner. His back is getting worse. The jail nurse gives him ibuprofen. 2 pills. It does nothing. On the 3rd day, Patricia posts his bail. She used her retirement savings. $5,000 to a bail bondsman. Mitchell walks out of jail at 4:00 p.m. The sun hurts his eyes. Patricia is waiting in her car. She doesn't say anything, just hugs him. Hard. Thank you, Mitchell whispers. Don't thank me yet. We've got work to do. She drives him back into his apartment. His car is still impounded, $500 to get it out. Money he doesn't have. Inside his apartment, everything looks the same. But Mitchell feels different, smaller, like something fundamental has shifted. He sits on his couch, stares at the medals on the wall. Patricia makes coffee, sits across from him. I've been making calls. ACLU is interested. They think you have a case for civil rights violations. That doesn't help the criminal charges. No, but it's something. She hands him a mug. Mitchell, you need to fight this. I am fighting. It's not working. Then fight harder. Mitchell looks at her. You know what the worst part is? I did everything right. I complied, I was respectful, I announced every movement, and it didn't matter. I know. So what's the point? Patricia doesn't answer immediately. She drinks her coffee, thinks. The point is they don't win. The point is you're alive, and you keep fighting. Mitchell wants to believe her, but right now it feels like the system is designed to break him. His trial date is set for 6 weeks out. Walsh files motions. Most are denied. The prosecution has Blackwood's report, Brennan's corroborating statement, Mitchell's mugshot, his arrest record. The defense has cell phone videos that don't show enough, witness statements that the prosecution calls unreliable, and Mitchell's word against 2 cops. Walsh warns him. If convicted, you're looking at 2 to 5 years, and with your PTSD on record, they'll paint you as unstable. I'm not unstable. I know. But juries don't always see it that way. Mitchell tries to reach out through old Marine Corps channels, tries to find General William Caldwell, the man whose life he saved. But the VA says they can't forward personal messages. Caldwell retired. He's doing defense consulting overseas. South Korea, someone says. Maybe Japan. There's no way to reach him. Mitchell sits in his apartment with an old deployment photo, 23 Marines, including him and General Caldwell. Caldwell is in the center, 4 stars on his collar, arm around Mitchell's shoulder. They'd kept in touch for the first year after Mitchell's medical retirement, emails, phone calls, but then Mitchell moved, changed his number, lost the contact. Now, when he needs him most, the general is half a world away, unreachable. Mitchell is alone. Meanwhile, Officer Blackwood is confident. His union backs him. His legal fees are covered. A Blue Lives Matter fundraiser raises $80,000. Mitchell's GoFundMe raises $3,200. Blackwood gives interviews. I feared for my life. These accusations are an attack on all law enforcement. The police union releases a statement. Officer Blackwood acted appropriately. This prosecution is politically motivated. Mitchell watches it all on the news, sees himself painted as a thug, a criminal, a liar, not a Marine, not a hero, not a man who saved 18 lives, just another black man who resisted. The trial is 3 weeks away, and Mitchell doesn't know if he can survive it. Detective Sarah Bennett reads the case file for the 3rd time. Something doesn't add up. She's 42, 15 years in internal affairs. She's seen bad cops before, plenty of them, but she's also seen good cops railroaded by false accusations. Her job is to find the truth. The dashcam footage shows Mitchell's car being pulled over, turn signal, smooth stop, hands on wheel, all by the book. The body cam footage shows Blackwood's escalation, the aggressive pat-down, the marijuana claim with no evidence, Mitchell reaching slowly for his phone, not his waistband. The takedown looks brutal even on camera. Bennett pulls Blackwood's personnel file. What she finds makes her stomach turn. 14 complaints in 18 years, 11 involving people of color, 2 involving excessive force, 3 involving illegal searches, all dismissed, all buried. Union protections, qualified immunity, the blue wall. She digs deeper. Fines, settlements. The department paid out $180,000 in 3 cases. Sealed records. NDAs. Garrett Blackwood should have been fired years ago. Bennett drives to Mitchell's apartment. He answers the door looking exhausted. Dark circles under his eyes. He's lost weight. Mr. Gardner? I'm Detective Sarah Bennett, Internal Affairs. May I come in? Mitchell hesitates, then steps aside. His apartment is neat, military precision, but there's an emptiness to it, like he's already halfway gone. Are you here to tell me the officers acted appropriately? Mitchell's voice is flat. No. Bennett sits on the couch uninvited. I'm here to tell you Officer Blackwood has a history. This wasn't isolated. I'm building a case. Mitchell stares at her. A case? Against Blackwood, Pattern of abuse, civil rights violations. But I need you to understand. She pauses. This won't dismiss your criminal charges. The DA is proceeding regardless. But if I can prove Blackwood has done this before, it'll help your defense. Why are you helping me? Bennett looks at her hands. Because I became a cop to protect people, not to protect bad cops. Over the next 2 weeks, Bennett interviews witnesses. Mr. Peterson provides his full video. Unedited. 11 minutes. It shows everything. She finds 3 other victims. Men Blackwood arrested on questionable charges. All black. All charges dropped eventually, but lives disrupted. Jobs lost. Reputations damaged. She builds her report, submits it to the chief. Chief Morrison reads it in silence. His face goes pale. Sarah, this is the truth. Do you know what this will do? The union will go nuclear. The press. I don't care. Bennett stands. Blackwood should have been fired years ago. You know it. I know it. And now everyone's going to know it. Morrison nods slowly. Write it up. Official recommendation. I'll forward it to the DA. But he doesn't sound confident. Meanwhile, the youth center kids launch a social media campaign. Danny leads it. He's 14, but he understands justice. He films a TikTok video, just him, his phone, his words. This man saved my life. His name is Mitchell Gardner. He's a Marine. He's a hero. And the police are trying to destroy him for nothing. This is wrong. Share this. Let people know. Hashtag justice for Mitchell. The video goes viral. 2 million views in 48 hours. Local journalist Thomas Cole picks up the story. He's 35, black, investigative reporter for the Washington Post. He interviews Mr. Peterson on camera. I saw the entire thing, Peterson says. His voice is steady, credible. That officer had his knee on that young man's back for no reason. Mitchell wasn't resisting. He was complying with everything. Cole interviews Patricia Williams. She talks about Mitchell's work with at-risk youth, how he mentors kids, keeps them out of gangs, saves lives in a different way now. The story runs on the front page. Decorated Marine veteran faces years in prison after routine traffic stop. Protests start. Small at first, 20 people outside the police station, then 50, then 200. Signs read, Justice for Mitchell Gardner. Police brutality ends now. Blue lives matter. Blackwood gives another interview. Doubles down. This is mob mentality. Social media isn't a courtroom. Facts matter. And the fact is, I was doing my job. But public opinion is shifting. The video evidence is damning. Bennett's investigation reveals a pattern. The ACLU announces they're monitoring the trial. The NAACP offers legal support. Still, the trial moves forward. Mitchell meets with Walsh 3 days before. She's honest with him. The video helps. Detective Bennett's report helps. But Rivera is good. She'll argue the video doesn't show everything. She'll put Blackwood and Brennan on the stand. They'll testify under oath. 2 cops versus you. What are my chances? Walsh doesn't sugarcoat it. 50-50. Maybe 60-40 against us. Juries trust cops, even with everything we have. Mitchell goes home, looks at the photo of his unit, looks at his medals. He thinks about calling his mother in Georgia. But what would he say? I'm about to go to prison for a crime I didn't commit? He sits with the photo of General Caldwell, the man whose life he saved, who could change everything with one phone call, one appearance. But the general is in Seoul, unreachable. He doesn't even know Mitchell's on trial. Mitchell is fighting this battle alone. The night before trial, he doesn't sleep. He paces his apartment, runs through his testimony in his mind. The truth. Just tell the truth. But he's learned the truth doesn't always matter. Sometimes power matters more. The trial begins on a Tuesday. Federal District Court, Alexandria, Virginia, 8 weeks after the arrest. The courtroom is packed. Media in the back rows, youth center kids in the gallery. Patricia in the front row behind Mitchell. Mitchell sits at the defense table in a gray suit. He looks thinner, older. The weight of this has broken something in him. Blackwood and Brennan sit confidently at the prosecution table, police union representatives behind them. Judge Thompson enters. Everyone stands. Commonwealth versus Mitchell Gardner. Let's begin. Prosecutor Rivera stands. Her opening statement is sharp, clinical. Ladies and gentlemen, this case is simple. 2 police officers conducting a lawful traffic stop. A defendant who refused to comply, who became aggressive, who forced officers to use necessary force. You'll hear from Officers Blackwood and Brennan. You'll see the evidence, and you'll see that Mr. Gardner brought this on himself. Rebecca Walsh stands for the defense. This case is about abuse of power. You'll see video evidence of officers escalating a routine stop into a brutal takedown of an innocent man, a decorated war hero, a Marine who saved lives in combat. And you'll ask yourselves, why? Why did this happen? The answer is simple. Because they saw a black man and decided he was guilty before they knew his name. The first 2 days are prosecution witnesses. Blackwood testifies first. He's polished, professional, the perfect witness. I conducted a traffic stop for a broken taillight. The driver became argumentative, made furtive movements. I feared for my safety and the safety of my partner. Walsh cross-examines. Officer Blackwood, the dash cam shows Mr. Gardner's taillights working perfectly. Can you explain that? The light appeared dim to me. Appeared. Walsh lets the word hang. In the body cam footage, where exactly does Mr. Gardner strike you? When the camera was obscured. How convenient. Walsh plays the video. This shows Mr. Gardner reaching for his front pocket, his phone. He announces what he's doing. Where is the aggressive movement? His hand went toward his waistband. His front pocket is not his waistband. In my assessment, it was a threat. Brennan testifies next. Echoes everything Blackwood said, word for word in places. Walsh points this out. Officer Brennan, your report uses the exact same phrases as Officer Blackwood's. Furtive movements. Aggressive posture. Did you collaborate on these reports? We discussed the incident, yes. You discussed what to write? We discussed what happened. Day 3. Mitchell takes the stand. He's nervous, but his voice is steady. Walsh walks him through his background, his service, Afghanistan, the IED attack. Tell the jury what happened that day, March 18, 2019. Mitchell takes a breath. Our convoy was traveling through Helmand Province. I was in the third vehicle. The lead vehicle hit an IED. The explosion flipped it. General William Caldwell was inside. What did you do? I exited my vehicle under fire, ran to the wreckage. The general was trapped. Secondary explosives were cooking off. I had maybe 30 seconds before the whole thing went up. You were wounded yourself? Shrapnel in my back and leg. I didn't notice at the time. What happened next? I pulled the general out, then went back for Corporal Jenkins, Private Anderson, everyone I could reach. I made 4 trips before I collapsed. How many Marines did you save? 18. The courtroom is silent. Walsh introduces the medals, the official citations, the photographs. Rivera cross-examines. She's aggressive. Mr. Gardner, your military service is commendable, but that doesn't give you the right to assault police officers. I didn't assault anyone. You reached for your waistband. I reached for my phone. I announced it. The video shows you going to the ground. What happened before isn't clear. What happened before is, I complied with every order. You questioned Officer Blackwood. I asked why I was being detained. That's my right. So you admit you were argumentative. I was exercising my constitutional rights. Rivera smiles, like she's made her point. Detective Bennett testifies, presents her findings on Blackwood's history. The jury listens. But is it enough? Day 3 ends. Mitchell goes home exhausted. Walsh is cautiously optimistic. You did well, but it's still close. Day 4 begins like every other day. Quiet. Procedural. Walsh is preparing for closing arguments. Rivera is confident. Then, at 9:30 a.m., there's commotion at the courtroom doors. The bailiff looks confused. He speaks into his radio, then opens the doors. All rise. Judge Thompson looks annoyed. Bailiff, what? A man enters in full marine dress blues. 4 stars gleam on his collar. Ribbons cover his chest. 2 aides follow. The entire courtroom turns. Mitchell's eyes go wide. His breath catches. General Caldwell, he whispers. Judge Thompson stands. General William Caldwell. Your Honor. The general's voice fills the room. Command presence. I apologize for the disruption. I only learned of this trial 48 hours ago. I was overseas. I came as soon as I could. The courtroom erupts in whispers. Cameras flash. Mitchell is crying. Your purpose here, General? Judge Thompson asks. I'm here to testify on behalf of Sergeant Mitchell Gardner. The man on trial is the reason I'm alive. Walsh stands immediately. Your Honor, the defense calls General William Caldwell. Rivera shoots to her feet. Objection! This witness wasn't disclosed. Your Honor, the general interrupts calmly. I was in Seoul. I saw news coverage of this trial 48 hours ago. I recognized Sergeant Gardner. I flew 16 hours to be here. Judge Thompson considers. Given the circumstances and the witness's stature, I'll allow it. Overruled. General, please take the stand. The general is sworn in. He sits with perfect posture, looks directly at Mitchell, nods once. Mitchell can barely breathe. Walsh approaches. General Caldwell, how do you know the defendant? Sergeant Gardner served under my command in Afghanistan. March 18, 2019. Our convoy hit an IED in Helmand Province. The blast flipped our vehicle. I was trapped inside. Ammunition was cooking off. We had maybe 30 seconds. What happened? Sergeant Gardner, despite being wounded, shrapnel in his back, his leg shattered, pulled me from the wreckage. Then he went back. Again and again. Corporal Jenkins, Private Anderson. He kept going until he collapsed. He saved 18 Marines that day. 18 families got their loved ones home because of him. What was the cost to Sergeant Gardner? Multiple surgeries, metal rods in his spine, permanent disability, PTSD, medical retirement. He gave his body for his brothers, and for me. You could hear a pin drop. Walsh continues. General, the prosecution has suggested Mr. Gardner fabricated his military service, that his medals might be fake. The general's voice rises, controlled fury. Fake? I personally recommended Sergeant Gardner for the Bronze Star with V device. I watched the president present him the Purple Heart. This man is a hero. To suggest otherwise is an insult to every Marine who served. Walsh pauses, lets it land. General, you've heard testimony about Mr. Gardner being combative, aggressive. Is that consistent with the man you know? No, ma'am. Mitchell Gardner is the most disciplined Marine I ever commanded. He follows orders. He respects authority. He saved my life by thinking clearly under fire. The idea that he would attack police officers is absurd. Rivera tries cross-examination. General, with respect, you weren't at the traffic stop. You're correct. But I can testify to character. And I can testify that the man described by those officers, aggressive, violent, combative, is not the man I know. Is not the man who saved my life. Rivera has nothing else. The general steps down. Before leaving the courtroom, he walks to Mitchell, places a hand on his shoulder. "Stand tall, Marine." Mitchell stands, salutes through tears. The general returns the salute. Then he's gone. The courtroom is silent. The jury deliberates for 2 hours. When they return, Mitchell can barely look at them. "Has the jury reached a verdict?" "We have, Your Honor." "On the charge of resisting arrest, how do you find?" "Not guilty." Mitchell's knees buckle. Walsh catches his arm. "On the charge of assault on a peace officer, how do you find?" "Not guilty." "On the charge of obstruction of justice?" "Not guilty." The courtroom erupts. Patricia is crying. Danny is cheering. Judge Thompson allows it for a moment before gaveling for order. Mitchell collapses into his chair, sobbing. Walsh hugs him. "You're free. You're free." General Caldwell watches from the back of the courtroom. He nods once, then leaves quietly. Prosecutor Rivera stands immediately. Her voice is steel. "Your Honor, based on perjury during this trial and Detective Bennett's investigation, the Commonwealth is filing charges against officers Garrett Blackwood and Kyle Brennan, civil rights violations, assault under color of authority, filing false police reports." 3 months later, Blackwood and Brennan stand trial. General Caldwell testifies again. The jury finds them guilty on all counts. Judge Rodriguez sentences them. She's Latina, appointed federal judge, known for tough sentences. "Officers Blackwood and Brennan, you were given badges and the public's trust. You betrayed both. Your actions represent the worst of law enforcement." Blackwood gets 8 years federal prison, $50,000 fine, loss of pension, permanent ban from law enforcement. Brennan gets 3 years, $25,000 fine, same bans. As they're led away, Blackwood glares at Mitchell in the gallery. Mitchell stares back, doesn't look away. The city settles with Mitchell for $2.3 million. Chief Morrison is forced into early retirement. The department implements reforms. Body cam policies strengthened. Citizen Review Board established. Mandatory de-escalation training. 1 year later, Mitchell stands in front of a new building. The Gardner Foundation, Building Heroes. He used the settlement money to expand the youth center. It serves 200 kids annually. Danny is there. He's 15 now, starting point guard on his basketball team. Mitchell published a memoir, Face Down, A Marine's Fight for Justice at Home. It's a bestseller. He speaks at colleges, police academies, congressional hearings. General William Caldwell is a national advocate for police reform now. He testified before Congress. Co-authored legislation, the Gardner Act, enhanced protections for veterans in civilian police encounters. And Mitchell is engaged to Detective Sarah Bennett, the woman who refused to protect bad cops, who chose truth over the blue wall. They're planning a small wedding, just close friends. Danny is the ring bearer. Mitchell still has nightmares, still checks the locks 5 times, still tenses when he sees police cars. But he's here. He's alive. He's free. And he's using his voice to change the system that tried to break him. His story had a resolution because someone with power chose to use it for good. General Caldwell flew 16 hours because he refused to let injustice stand. But thousands of stories don't end this way. Every day, people face injustice without witnesses, without cameras, without generals to defend them. If this story moved you, don't just watch. Act. Share this video. Let people know justice isn't automatic. It's fought for. Comment below. Have you or someone you know faced similar injustice? Your story matters. Subscribe to this channel. We're telling more stories like Mitchell's, stories that need to be heard. Turn on notifications. The algorithm only shows these stories if you engage. We live in a country where a badge doesn't make you right, where melanin doesn't make you wrong. But we have to keep fighting for that truth. Every video shared, every witness who speaks up, every person who refuses to look away. That's how systems change. So I'll ask one more time. Have you ever been judged before anyone knew your name? And if you saw it happening to someone else, would you pull out your phone? Would you stay and witness? Would you speak up? Because in the end, justice isn't just about courts and badges. It's about all of us refusing to be silent. The Gardner Foundation. Building heroes. Learn more and donate at the link below. Fade to black.